everybody, and welcome to Red Wings Rant, where tirades and impassioned pleas for your Detroit Red Wings finally have a home. We still barely have anything to talk about.
Yeah. Who needs topics? Woo!
Yeah.
Not this show. Yeah. Yeah, we know the filibuster.
So, I labeled the episode an open forum, but I also came up with some fun topics that might include, as the title suggests, my favorite center from Vancouver,
We
Elias
find a way to
Pettersson.
get him in there. Yep, the old Peepee, Mr. Elias Pettersson.
Justicia, Justica, was in the comments at 7-Eleven. Red Wings official page has been lacking on the content. I just want this season to start. So yeah, no, we're right there with you. That's why we're gonna BS some content today.
Yeah.
Chewy, he's back.
Welcome back, Chew, man.
Blake, welcome him back. Curtis is aboard. Curtis, been a while. What's going on, man?
As always. What's up, brother? Blake.
For your Detroit Red Wing effing Merger.
Win motherfucking Wings.
What's up, Chewy? What's going on, Righteous?
Oh, Curtis. Oh, a little Michael bait there, huh? Trying to get me to talk a little pro wrestling, huh? Yeah. I don't know. I think he's like the biggest cancer in wrestling right now. What a disappointment. Because I can't tell you, he makes my television product so much better. I actually watched wrestling on a Saturday night to see him on Collision and snuffed out. That's all done. So,
yeah, it's sort of like for CM Punk, and we'll get this out of the way quick, but that's sort of like the first time that real drama kind of like ruined wrestling. Like real life, like normally they can find a way to make it into something interesting. Like even a couple years ago, like I was like, oh, I don't know, or a year ago, maybe it's shoot, maybe CM Punk and Kenny Omega are just fighting. But now it's just like, all right, yeah, he's just a piece of garbage.
There's a really good TikTok too, Curtis. I don't know if you saw it, but it's a dude dressed up as CM Punk playing Cult of Personality in the background, and it's him leaving Ring of Honor. You guys are the problem. I'm out of here to pave my own road. And then it shows him in WWE. You guys are the problem. I'm going to go pave my own road. And then they show him in AEW. No, you guys are the problem. I'm going to go do my own thing. And here we are. So, What a bummer. And then Curtis Thornton makes me so sad that Tony has all that money but can't pay for an adult to run his company. Yeah, Curtis, I mean, I think that's part of the problem is he's not Vince. He's 80 pounds, autistic, coked out, Tony Khan. So, he's not rated out Vince, who is a maniacal egomaniac, who could bench press probably everyone watching the show. And he was really good at putting the thunder down and putting money down, like money as priority one. He would have told Paul, it's money time.
I just watched Stone Cold actually was forced to kiss. He was supposed to join the Kiss My Ass Club on WWE. Vince also had like a big old muscly butt too. I think that's why he was so proud to like put it on TV.
Those cheeks could fabulously clench and unclench. Let me tell you.
Curtis thrown out there. Tony has more coke than the state of Georgia. Yeah, they might be doomed, but you know what? Everybody's here to talk the Red Wings. Curtis, we'll have
to bring back our wrestling show, Curtis.
Yeah,
we'll need you at the forefront.
Absolutely. But wrestling's on tonight while we're going live. But starting tomorrow, Mike, as we previewed for like a half a second last week, just sort of the prospect tournament roster, and Jared, who just piped in there, he was the one who made sure to share with me our prospect tournament schedule presented by Bally Sports Detroit. This is all going to be streaming on YouTube, Facebook, DetroitRedWings.com. Red Wings versus Dallas, Mike. Sort of your first taste of Red Wings hockey this season, even though it's not really. But and when I say tomorrow, I'm talking Thursday, September 14th. So you might be listening to the podcast, and it's tonight. Hot damn, tonight's the night. Little Christmas Story reference there. 30 p.m. Then we're on Saturday against Mike Babcock's Columbus Blue Jackets. Although Mike, might not be
the Blue Jackets and the cock. Yeah, can't wait for that primetime matchup.
Sunday, 2 p.m., which I will not be watching because
I will be glued to that game. You should record it because this is
is it?
maybe the most important recruiting that you've ever seen. This is like Harbaugh, traveling abroad to bring home some new Red Wings. This is an important game.
So you're saying, because reminder, this is the prospect tournament. So if you're trying to get William Nylander, you want to
The
get
big
some
boy
prospects.
Nylander's going to be in the press box. He's going to be watching the Red Wings intently to see how they're going to wine him and dine him.
Okay. I was a little confused. I was actually going to say that, Mike, I will be glued at 1:00 to our good buddies in Fort Field. The Detroit Lions, Mike, are 1-0.
I mean, that's a win. I mean,
Where-
now that we've beat the champs, you don't have to watch the rest of the games undefeated. So the drama is watching the Red Wings try and seduce in the press box Nylander and the rest of the Maple Leafs outside of Austin Matthews, who doesn't understand how free agency works. What an idiot.
So speaking of the Columbus Blue Jackets, Blake throws in there, Babcock wants to be fired, and of course, let's. I want to chat about it. Right, we don't have too much to chat about. This is a Detroit Red Wings open forum episode, so you guys just go right ahead and be like,
Well,
here's
in
what I
case
want to talk
people
about.
aren't quite up to speed, Matt, what is the brouhaha?
Paul Bissonnette from Spit and Chicklets, also, I don't know. I'm about to tell podcast listeners,
Renowned journalist.
if you're not familiar, he's also on TNT, and he's reporting that Mike Babcock was asking players to open your photos, let me see what's going on so I can get to know you better, and was also asking players to like airdrop their photos onto a screen or screen share. And Paul Bissonnette's description of this was like, you're out sharing memes with the boys, you're sharing dick pics, you don't want that stuff out there.
I'm sharing dick pics. Yeah.
That was the quote from Paul Bissonnette.
Yeah.
Now, then it was Boone Jenner. I listened to Johnny Gaudreau actually on 32 Thoughts today with Elliot Friedman. Both of those guys said the story is actually Mike Babcock calmly came into the room. He's like, Johnny, I want to get to know you better. I want to know Johnny hockey, but I want to know Johnny family first. So Johnny described it as he showed off his 10-month-old, 11-month-old. He doesn't know how old his daughter is now that I remember that part of the story. He was like 10 month, 11 month, 10 month at the time, 11 month now. Anyway, so his 11-month-old daughter, his wife, his grandma that just died, and then she was like, yeah, we now Mike Babcock knows me better. So that was Johnny Gaudreau's view on that. Very same with Boone. Now, Jeff Merrick's idea of this, which I respect a lot, and Elliot Friedman took this to another level, which I will describe. Jeff Merrick said, you know what? I don't care if there were players that were fine with it. There could have been players who were not. This is clearly an invasion of privacy. And from a position of power, which Mike Babcock is in, he also is dealing with young players, not just more of the veteran side. And he said those young players probably might not feel comfortable enough to tell Mike Babcock, no, I don't want to open up my phone and show you my pictures. So there's a lot of credence to that argument. But Elliot Friedman put it best, because you could go on either side of this. Like, is Mike Babcock invading privacy? Based on how Paul Bissonnette told the story, yes. Based on how Johnny Gaudreau told the story, it's more of like a request, like, can I get to know you better? And the best way to do that is if you show me what you did over the summer. What would you do on your summer vacation? Was how Mike Babcock framed it. So it's still in the realm of like, let me see your photos. Like, that's still weird. Like, I don't think I've ever said to anybody, let me see your photos, ever. You always present the photos yourself. So I want you to think about that, Mike, yourself. Have you ever said, let me see the photos in your phone?
I think the last time I uttered that sentence was when I was working on a Jeffrey Dahmer impression, when he was like, nothing weird, just a couple photos. And I don't think that what he did is anything that the rest of us, usually do in a social situation. Um, so it's tough because you want to kind of pick a side on this story. Babcock, I feel like at this point he has a responsibility to not be a weirdo. And I
Yeah.
know he's saying that, oh, I've done this in the past. I urge you at this juncture of your career, when there's so many, eyeballs on you, maybe not isolate young boys and men and make them show you the photos, right? So what the phrasing makes it sound much worse than it probably was, but why even put yourself in that situation?
Yes.
But
That if I
again,
could, that was
if I was in court and I was gonna pick whose testimony I care the most about, I care the most about the players, right?
right. Like it's not Mike Babcock standing in front of a judge going, "Whoa, whoa, whoa. I was only asking to see the photos in their phone." The judge is like, "Yeah, no, exactly. Who does that?" Like that's but that was Elliot Friedman's take too, which I respect a ton, where he was like, "You know what? Regardless of if you're the veteran player who's like, this is okay," and not forgetting that the young player may be disturbed by this and can't say no, but he was like, think about the fact that Mike Babcock is in this position where it's your second chance. You have to be perfect. And that's the way Elliot framed it. He's like, your season, flawless. This has to be spotless. You have to play and do everything right according to the book and not veer off at all. And he presented that to Bill Daly too. And Bill Daly was not touching it. Bill Daly, man, if you guys have not had the pleasure of listening to Elliot Friedman kind of grill Bill Daly, he asks Bill tough questions. It's just he doesn't follow up is the problem. But Bill is just, man, the worst answers I think I've ever heard. Clearly, an educated attorney, because man, oh man, can he dance around to anything and not give you a straight answer? But you do get the feeling listening to Bill Daly that nothing is going to happen here. Like somebody needs to be caught red-handed before anything happens. I mean, this is a
Well,
league that
I'm
probably
not.
shouldn't have let Babcock back in. They're considering Quenville coming back. So it's just
I
like,
mean, I don't think we need to, you know, put this guy in a cross. If the
like you're
players
getting a
are
phone
still
call.
saying, if the players are still saying that, yeah, we showed photos, but it's wildly blown out of proportion. I mean, that's the testimony that I care about. So if the players are all kind of, in agreement, in unison, saying, yeah, this we're not bothered by this. I don't even know why this got out. Um, that's kind of where it should stop. I mean, we humble talking heads are like, why would you ever do this, Babcock? Please don't do it again,
Yeah.
especially with how it's getting blown up now. But I mean, what else would you want? I mean, if the potential victims are saying we're not victims, it's fine. It's weird. He's old. I don't know. He wanted to look at photos.
That would have been, I wish Johnny Gaudreau would have said
He
that
was
to Elliot
hoping that
Friedman.
he's probably hoping that when you show the friendly photo, towards the bottom where it has a tiny thumbnail of what else is in the line, like, oh, maybe I'll see a dick. Maybe
Oh,
he's hoping
God.
for that, but we don't know. And those guys, as far as we know, the players are not too bothered by what happened. So,
They don't call him Babcock. Oh, I fucked it
oh
up.
boy,
They don't call him Babcock for nothing.
make
Uh,
Babcock. Yep.
Dan throws out there, it's a non-story being promoted by guys who were benched by Babcock.
Oh no! Quick
Mike
detour from that.
Commodore.
Yeah.
No, Dan, when Paul Bissonnette throws out there, the boys just want to share memes and dick pics. Like, I don't, Paul Bissonnette, like, he is not, like, he
He
loses
is
all, like, credibility the second he mentions dick pics. Like,
he's thirsty for some dick pics. Yeah.
but I do think the fact that this is possible is the reason that Mike Babcock needed to turn in a flawless season and something I will say again, as much as like if I found out about this for any coach, I'd just be kind of like, what's going on? It's weird. But for Babcock, it's kind of like, dude, come on. Let's just,
Important
why don't you
point
just talk
by
to a human being and find out who they
important
are?
point by Blake too. I wonder who leaked it.
True. Ooh, Line A's a good pick. I kind of like that one, Blake. Line A, FTW. Decoy thrown out there. Mel Tucker wanted to see photos too. Decoy, you naughty, naughty boy. Oh, man.
Velveteen Dream, rest his soul. His wrestling soul.
Danby, Babcock and Quenneville's situation are not even close to the same, not even close. Yeah, I don't think anybody's comparing them as being close, but I think it's a matter of principle that there's no principle to be found by the NHL where I'm just like, okay, Babcock's coming back, Quenneville's coming back. And there doesn't appear to be any real issue, but you get like a slap on the hand for a little bit and come right on back.
I also wanted to throw Jared's comment in there about Babcock pulling a Steve Buscemi in 30 Rock. How do you do, fellow kids? And we swap phones and look at each other's photos. Am I right? Yeah, we don't know if Babcock, maybe he had, like a Michael Scott, Jan Levinson thing where he had a photo he really wanted to show off, like his boss, on a surfboard, with no bikini top on or something. So he's like, hey, want to see my phone? No, I'm good. I'm good. Thanks, Mike.
Performance art. I want to give you the last word because I think we're ready to move on. But
yeah,
this is it. This sums it all up. This is such a ridiculous story. Like performance art nails it. But you could tell if you listen to 32 Thoughts, give it a shot. You could tell that Elliot Friedman is licking his chops. He's like, man, I have content for days. And this won't go away. And he even says, he says in his show multiple times, he's like, you had to be perfect, Mike. So here you go. This will be Elliot Friedman's new job. It's covering Mike Babcock in Columbus. But before we continue into some actual Red Wing talk, Mike, football's back in full swing with another week of epic games. And who's got you covered on the action for every single one of them? DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers can bet $5 on any football game and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Nobody's missing out on the action all season. All DraftKings customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every game day this September. All right. Real talk testimonial. I did one of those. I did the Detroit Lions. I could bet last Thursday. You took the money line, but the Lions didn't even need to win. They just needed to be up by 7. So they were up by 7. They scored that first touchdown. Boom, Matt won $150. Easy peasy. That's just what happened for me. I'm not saying it could happen for you, but those deals that they throw out there on game day they're juicy. Get in on all the NFL Week 2 action with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app now and use promo code THPN to sign up. New customers can bet just $5 and take home $200 instantly in bonus bets only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code THPN. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resorts in Kansas, 21 and up, age varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms for eligibility terms and responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Man, we're done. All right. We did it.
Yes.
All right, let's get past Babcock. I even forgot I set it up that way. All right. Here's the thing.
Yes.
Mike, last week I was shocked.
Is that what's on his actual birth certificate?
Stupid Patrick Kane.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Jared, great video, guys. See you next week. Oh, hockey talk. Last week, I could not believe you guys were all on board with bringing in stupid Patrick Kane at his 4% projected
It
WAR.
wasn't everybody. Everyone I've talked to in person, Matt, is on your side. Everyone, a lot of the people in this chat are kind of like, I wouldn't hate it. And maybe that's because these are actual fans who watch all the games instead of the jabronis who check in once in a while. Matt,
is it because you have to be held accountable when you're in person? You guys?
No, it's because you can go buck wild in person because nobody has Google open to check the numbers.
So anyway,
I'm just saying that. Look at 2021, 2022. That was the last year DeBrincat and Kane played together. Okay.
I'm coming to terms with how every article I'm being fed on Google, all of you guys last week, I definitely was outnumbered. And Dan Flashes, which Dan, welcome to the show. He's on Team Matt. Love the name Dan Flash. I really hope we can work together and get some shirts. I don't know. It's just my
more
complicated
style.
The design. Yeah. All right, where was I? So Dan's on my team, but everybody else seems like they were on Mike's team. Like, let's get Patrick Kane. So I reluctantly put together a new plan so that we can bring in Patrick Kane. And Mike, will.
I thought that
Decoy says no to Patrick Kane too. Performance art. Kane could be great trade bait at the deadline if it doesn't work out.
Decoy, is that a thumbs down or a chocolate ice cream? You know, like you're celebrating.
Oh, that's Decoy's thumbs down.
Oh, it's a thumbs down. Okay.
I did chocolate ice cream. So I've been kind of looking at the tea leaves here, right? Because this isn't just about bringing in Patrick Kane. It's like, okay,
it's about winning.
We're gonna make a move. So like before, it's like, well, you bring in Patrick Kane. I feel like the only benefit you get is what Performance Art pointed out is like trade bait later. But it's also like, okay, now we got to pay Patrick Kane to be a Detroit Red Wing. We have to see him put on that jersey. And a majority of you guys were just like, yeah, it's fine. It's Patrick Kane. Who cares if he's 34 going on 35 and hasn't, been that great according to Jay Fresh's WAR percentile ranks? It's fine. I want that big name on my team. I want to see 88 skating in a winged wheel.
What about he's like a fast Bobby Ryan, Matt?
Now, do you want Patrick Kane to become captain or alternate captain, Mike?
I was hoping he would change his number to 13.
You motherfucker!
Just to really rub it in for you, Matt.
All right, time to move on. I'm angry.
I'm so excited for those the pregame interviews where he's like, "Oh, I was a really big inspiration for Datsuk with a lot of those moves." So
Well, over the summer, we get less and less hockey content, but one of the last episodes at the end of the season, kind of around the draft time of 32 Thoughts, Elliot Friedman pointed out, you know what? Vancouver has some contract negotiations coming up that are very important. And one thing you could have offered, to Elias Pettersson was the C. And what did Vancouver do? Oh, they fucked up, Mike.
I like that, Matt. I like that this talking point is like if Matt was scrolling through NHL.com and there was clickbait articles on the bottom said, "Ooh, see how the Red Wings might be a landing spot for Elias Pettersson. Ooh, I can't click fast enough. Look at that WAR. Oh my."
A 98% WAR from my boy Elias. Now, Mike, we've been creating content for like the last 3 years about bringing Elias Pettersson to Detroit. I mean, a nearly flawless game here. You just got to keep him off the PK. But our boy can set up. He can finish. He's great on the power play. We absolutely need. He's a finishing first line center, Mike. There's so many things that we could like about this, and it just breaks my heart that, God, I feel so far away from this. I feel like we have to, like, if this was to happen, we got to wait till Vancouver screws up this upcoming season, because Elias, he's not touching a contract negotiation. And when he spoke to Elliot Friedman, so like that's where Elliot kicked off that conversation. He's like, here's a negotiating piece. Make Pettersson your face of the franchise. Tell him you're the most important thing. Make him your captain. Goes to Quinn Hughes. So is that because the contract negotiations aren't really going anywhere in Vancouver? Is it just Vancouver making their choice regardless and kind of telling Elias, look, we want you here, but Quinn's our boy? And what does Elias do with all of this information? Clearly, I'm not the face of the franchise. I've already been outspoken with the direction of the team, and they had a chance to make me their captain. And here we are, another poor choice, maybe in Elias Pettersson's mind. So he's ready to move out. And
well, I mean, I don't know if Curtis is still in the house, but it reminds me a little bit of this LA Knight situation. Yeah, where he was not. He's getting pushed, but not really. Kind of a lot of stop start, and then he said, "Hey, how about if I sign a 5-year deal? Will you guys finally push me?" Yeah, okay. So I think there's definitely some, credence to what you're saying that, you probably don't want to, make a guy the face of the franchise and your captain when he could potentially be walking. And Matt,
true.
I feel like this whole, every time we bring up Elias, this is just to kind of, fluff your feathers over there. But we're going to have the cap space. I don't think he's completely enamored of Vancouver. It's just about the age old, yeah, Curtis thrown in a, yeah, I like it. It's just whether or not Elias is actually going to do what so many other NHL players do not like to do, which is actually explore and enjoy and partake in free agency, Matt. Do you think that Elias is going to be the one who breaks the chains, the shackles, the desire to mortgage your future in one city for 12 years?
Arbitration eligible RFA.
I thought we had
Elias
UFA.
Pettersson.
One more year.
Yeah.
Damn it. But
Yeah.
maybe it's just more likely that this would be a trade anyway.
Right. And I will put out there again. I think I threw this out to you and our father.
What are you, Dwight Schrute?
You know what?
Okay,
what did
go
I?
ahead. Yeah.
What was the trade I threw out there? I definitely threw in a first and a second round pick.
Whatever you put out there wasn't enough. It was Casper first, second, and then like Johansson.
Oh, did I throw in Wallander too?
Yeah, it was Wallander. Yeah. It'd have to be a couple of firsts. A couple of firsts, Casper, and one of our defensemen.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Give me that. What are you going to get from, like, there's nothing you're going to get from Casper.
Man,
that's
I'm not against the trade.
Okay, yeah, you're on board. You know what? Give him Nate too. I don't care. Your two centers now are going to be Pettersson and Dylan Larkin. And Dylan Larkin is now on your second line. And guess what? This turd sandwich cop that we're stuck with for another couple years that you guys are so in love with. Well, now he's on the third line. And now I don't have to get so angry.
Wow, look at that first line. Awesome.
Yeah. I put Kane on there for you, Mike.
And then they're all roped together with Patrick Kane.
Yeah, we just got to figure out how to get Robbie Fabry out of there. But clearly, even with that, we're projected to be a 104-point team, Mike. This is it.
I just thought you'd be a little more excited for Kane.
No.
I hate him. He's got the fire and brimstone. He eliminated Drew Carey from the Royal Rumble in 2021. I don't know. He's got a lot going for him.
I did almost make our show thumbnail Kane, but I thought it would be too confusing with the old podcast being wrestling and people going, oh, they're doing wrestling today. That's weird. Now, I will give up more too. Like, I feel like this really puts us over, and we're like banking all of these centers, and best case scenario, what happens? One of them, like, they all work out. We don't trade for Elias Pettersson, and we have, we're going to fill out our bottom six at some point. So get rid of Casper, Danielson, get rid of him now. But let's bring in a guy we know is great and can take this team to another level. This is a no-brainer for me. Give him some extra draft picks. I don't care. Whatever we need to do to get this done. Let's get it done.
Matt, this is my favorite pipe dream. I would
love to toss in Lucas Raymond. I don't care.
I would love to see a top 10 player on our team. Let's do it. But to see some of the comments here, we got Or other Dan B, Vancouver will screw this up. Stevie just needs to be there to help them screw it up. Righteous 247. I don't think we said hi to Righteous today. What's going on, brother?
Yeah, Righteous.
He's
We said
huge
hi
bait
right at the
for a
beginning.
trade. Vancouver sucks.
Hell yeah! See, Righteous is on board.
Blake saying 11 million. I think that'd be a bargain, honestly.
Give it to him. Hell yeah.
Yeah, give it to me, baby. Give it to me, baby. I'd give that dude 14. Do it. Did we have
Jared
any
is
other
so
ones?
angry. He's caveman SpongeBob right now. Jared, I mean, hit us up, but are you just thinking like, no, there's too much good? Like the potential. Do you see the potential? I know I'm being dead serious. Do you see, and does anybody else see the potential of Casper or Nate becoming a first line center where the draft projections say no, and we've all like everybody's already pivoted the conversation. Like, yeah, those are our middle six centers for the future. Like that conversation has been happening with.
I mean,
with
this is
the
what a trade is
experts.
supposed to be. Established A+ for two guys who might be A's someday.
Right. Well, yeah.
I mean, I'll take established A+ all day, every day.
I'm doing it wrong. Vancouver, these are the best prospects the Detroit Red Wings have ever had. You think Mo Seider's impressive? Watch out.
Decoy going for another bid for comment of the episode, saying Nate Danielson is the real Big Red Machine. Yeah, he definitely, maybe he would look less sad if he wore a mask, like how Kane did, and then eventually he'll get some personality, and he can tag team with, I don't know, Lucas Raymond. That'd be a fun size discrepancy there, team yeah. Hell no. I really like this wrestling centric episode. I'm really proud of you guys, by the way. And then Dan B saying, I don't see how Fabry fits in on this roster. Logjam. Dan, that problem solves itself when he's injured in game one once again. So I wouldn't worry about that too much.
Devin says yes and no. I think Casper could be special, but I'd trade him in a heartbeat. Thank you, Devin. You're my new best friend.
Devin,
yeah, it's not anything. I don't. And we all get it, right? Like I don't hate Casper. I just think we're at that point right now where a huge move can be made with these prospects before we win or lose with them. But there's a guy right now who's struggling with contract negotiations, and man, you make him the king, and he's coming over to the. I mean, I guess Vancouver has quite a bit of Swedes too, but he's coming over to the Swedish kingdom of Detroit. So it's just. To me, I feel like a lot of things could line up. And yeah, you know what? All the Robbie Fabry hate, I get it. I clearly, I'm not Robbie Fabry's biggest fan. Maybe I should put Bergman up there. I didn't care. I was just putting goddamn Patrick Kane on the team and Elias Pettersson. I didn't give a shit about the rest of those guys. I had to move Perron down to think about that, Mike. How many times did I say last year, like, yeah, Perron is fun to have on your team, but your team is getting the Perron difference when he's in the bottom six. Not when he is relied upon on the first line. Like that's not, we live this.
Yeah, he's an old dude. We've talked about it ad nauseum on this show. We love him, but we would just like to be able to not have to put him in positions where he's like the focal point of the team, like too many minutes. Yeah. And Curtis, God bless you. Open forum for us means let's talk wrestling any chance we get.
And Blake comes in here too. It's possible Danielson can be. Casper is more of the all-around top six forward. And yeah, we're looking at a more scrappy guy, but is it?
You know who else was a scrappy guy? Robbie Fabry.
Yeah, true. Is it? Oh man, Mike, that's an interesting conversation.
Another first rounder, man. Same size, kind of.
Do you want all these scrappy guys in your top six who are playing a rougher game and they could get hurt?
Or do I want a large boy who's already got a 100-point season to his name?
On some shitty teams. You're a shitty team too who has Alex DeBrincat.
And Patrick Kane.
Dan B, I think it's time for some decaffeinated coffee. That might be. Is that on me?
It might be a rib, and I'm okay with it, Dan B.
I'm here for it. Yeah. Devin says, I think Casper's compete can't be taught. That's the X factor for me. Yeah, that's where I think that's our scrappy. So
Ooh.
yeah,
I was gonna say, I like that the name drop for the compete there. I was like, somebody subscribed to the hockey news this month, huh? I like that. Yeah.
for what?
Oh, for the compete.
Oh,
That's one of their little
gotcha.
statistics when they're ranking players. But
Curtis throws out there, Danielson beat Starks in a strap match a couple weeks ago.
for a second,
Would our Danielson
I
beat
like to
Kane in
think
a
that you
strap
didn't
match?
realize that was a wrestling thing. Oh, Nate Danielson beat up Starks. Who's that in a strap
What?
match? Curtis, come on. Would
I
our Danielson
only
beat Kane?
only from the kickoff of bringing up Danielson's name the first time have I can't get it out of my head is Brian, like trying not to say that.
Yeah. Okay, Matt, can I bring this one full circle? Put Curtis's comment back on there.
Yeah.
Danielson beat Starks in a strap match. Would our Danielson beat Kane in a strap match? I don't know, but I know that Babcock would want the photos. Yeah, full circle, baby. Woo!
Ew.
I know.
Okay. So yeah, here we are, right? I think I'm okay. Like if that ended up being a trade, I think I'd be super okay with it. I want to put that out there as my hot take of the week. I'm ready for some winning hockey. I don't know. I was talking with somebody yesterday. I don't really know too well. It was it was me and somebody else's like wife at work or somebody else's
Whoa!
husband.
Nice. Oh, right.
Right.
Okay.
I work with his wife. I kind of work with him too, actually. They work. This is gonna get nobody gives a shit.
Matt, what kind of
I'm talking.
infidelities are we about to hear about here?
So I'm talking with him, and I'm just kind of like realizing, like, what do you talk about with somebody? Like, I was like, are you an every gamer? Like, do you watch every game? He's like, no. And I'm just kind of like, okay.
I feel like I don't really know you. Can I look at some photos on your phone so I can
Yeah,
better
so
understand you and your family?
I scrolled through his photos a little bit and I was like, oh, okay. So your son plays hockey. You guys went to the state fair last week.
Wow, your wife has like no hair on her body. That's weird.
Oh my God. Nice dick pic, bro.
Solid.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But the realization was just like, I mean, if you're not talking with like, our boys here in the chat, which again, I need to get off my ass and make this Discord so that then we can start planning our draft day. But it's like, what do you talk about
it? Yeah.
What do you talk about with a casual Red Wings fan right now? Yeah, we still suck ass. Probably not gonna. We'll sniff the playoffs this year to have a shitty draft pick. Like, what do you talk about if there's no, I can't bring up Marco Casper and Nate Danielson to this guy. He's not paying attention. I'm assuming he's not paying attention that much. Definitely can't bring up Booch season.
I gotta say, I don't know if the consensus for like the
he might be
casual
listening
is that
to.
they're gonna stink.
Huh?
I don't think the consensus for the casual fan is that they are gonna stink.
They'll be like competitive in every game, but there's too much going around them in the East that'll prevent them from making it to the playoffs. But moral victories for 82 games. Woohoo.
Yeah, it does feel like this is going to be another season where it's like, well, I'm just excited to watch the boys develop. Which is doesn't, make you want to buy season tickets. It feels like we're still one more like Elias Pettersson away from actually mattering.
Yeah, Dan B throws out there. I have a hard time talking to people who only watch an occasional game. I end up just like going like, yeah, so the prospect tournament is next week. So these are the guys that are going to be there. If you get a chance to watch it, and they're like, I'm not going to watch it. I'm like, I know, but like if you have time and you watch it, these are the guys you want. That's how that goes for me. I get too excited. They don't care. And I wasted my breath. So I'm right there with you, Dan. Righteous throws out there when I was going through this guy's phone. So pictures of a stupid dog. I saw stupid pictures of a stupid dog. That's what I saw. I'm kidding. Watch
Blake,
Detroit get second in the division and go to the finals. Blake, I mean, look, If I can't rant on this podcast, like
What will
it's
become
one
of
of those
Matt?
things, right? Like
Think about Matt Blake. Yeah.
the projections have to matter for now. And then if things turn around, then yeah, you guys can make fun of me, but I will tell you, like the episodes will be positive. We'll be happy. I'll be like, oh my God, I was wrong. This is the greatest team ever. Can you believe Andrew Kopp scored a goal last, like I'll have those
He
conversations
scored
with
a
you guys.
goal. Yeah, I mean, it just for us to be good as is, it just would mean a lot of people are taking really big steps forward. That would mean Raymond is, a point a game guy. Seider's, scoring like 60-ish points. And being Peyton Manning quarterback on the blue line. Larkin would actually be move into that, top 30 player and maybe like top 20, top 15. Um, and the usual suspects don't get hurt.
I
You
just
know,
I obviously we're huge fans of Jake Wallman and Moritz Seider.
sure.
But I mean, you're
Yeah,
basically looking at
you're
the
still lugging
bottom
around
4 pairs.
Justin, don't call me whole. You got Sherratt, the Ghost Bear. It's not really a who's who. It's ooh, you
I
know.
mean, you're talking about a LaLonde system that has to be built and believed in that keeps everybody nice and safe because Seider can't play 40 minutes. He can't play 60 minutes. We'll say that. He can't play 40 minutes. You know what I mean? I mean, those guys are going to have to hit the ice. And as happy as we can be that, oh man, we locked up Daniel Sprong to lock up the bottom 6. It's just not, it's going to affect the wins and losses. If you guys think like Edmonton struggles, even though like Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid are just peppering them in, like this is going to have to be a system, like to get into the playoffs, this is going to have to be system, right? To lock it down. And, and what are we showing? We're showing a group of forwards right now that would get it done. Like that's a group of forwards you can trust besides Robbie Fabry. But, like that's taking it to the next level. But we're that step away. We're a couple steps away, right? Like I'm talking about signing a guy, trading for a guy. And then I'm still like, yeah, there's still got a couple holes here and there. And let's not forget James Reimer is still going to be listed as our backup goaltender. So still a lot of moves to be made. Still not all rainbows and lollipops like it is talking about Dan Campbell's team. But goddamn, can you believe how great the rookies are on
Yeah, they did
fucking
play really
Lions?
well.
Oh my God.
I did want to throw in Decoy with his third bid for comment of the show. Saw a selfie with Val Venus. And I have to think that was probably a panorama view, right?
Chop. Oh wait, yeah, you can't do that scene anymore.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
Chop,
choppy
pee.
pee pee. Yeah.
And then Michael Script checking in. Say Matt's starting to sound like an old Lions fan.
I mean, it's secular, right? So I've come around as a disgruntled Red Wings fan, and now I can't be brought down as a Lions fan. I had to change hats, Mike. I've been wearing my Lions hat every single day. I had to change hats for this podcast. It's been Lions hat all the way.
I just obviously, a pipe dream for Elias, I think, is the thesis of this episode. Patrick Kane, there's very hockey. I keep having to back up my own statement. He would score some power play goals for us. And lest we forget that 2021, 2022 was a pretty magical year for Kane and DeBrincat. DeBrincat, 82 games, 78 points, minus 13. And then, Kane, 78 games, 92 points, Matt. And this team has some flaws that can't be ignored. And Kane, at the very least, when healthy, could maybe help this team finally get some goals. That's all I'm saying.
I'll admit the connection of DeBrincat and Kane on the power play
It was successful.
That's the end. That's the end game you're looking for on this. But I still hate that piece of shit. This is an open forum episode. Jared wants to know, speaking of Sprung, did he get locked up for that bar fight? The last story on that bar fight is still the one I think I first read from Bleacher Report. Detroit Red Wings forward Daniel Sprung has been accused of assaulting former IndyCar driver Zachary Clamon DeMello. DeMello, 25, alleged in an Instagram story that Sprung assaulted him at a nightclub during a weekend in Detroit, which ran from June 2nd through June 4th. Recounting the experience, DeMello said Sprung grabbed his neck, pinned him against the wall before the two were separated. DeMello said he required brutal dental work after the encounter and is still dealing with concussion symptoms. So that's all the news on Daniel Sprung. So yeah, we really, Mike, you pick up a James Reimer, you pick up a Daniel Sprung. Boy, oh boy.
Patrick Kane.
Might as well get a Patrick Kane. That's where I was going with that.
Oh, Jared, I made that comparison earlier, and Matt didn't like it. Kane come to Detroit would be on par with Chelios coming over. As far as disliking a guy for the team he played for, Matt is more upset about the extracurricular naughties that Patrick Kane was allegedly performing.
I am doing that cricket, that guy who's watching cricket and he's mad at his team and he just like stands up and just puts his...
Oh, I thought you just got released from Summer Fling. That's
that too. That's what that's based off.
Well, Matt,
Michael Scripp, Lions fans have suffered far longer than Wings fans. True. Very true. But
I think the discussion this year with casual Wings fans is be like, you know what, just watch football this year.
I guess so. Yeah, that'll get me through it.
But we somehow had no content for this episode and got 47 minutes out of it, man.
Yeah, I think we're good.
No, I mean, all we can do now is just kind of wait and see, because this camp is going to happen, and maybe this is when Yzerman's like, you know what, maybe I'll make another move.
Could be showing these boys off to make a move. Also, could see some things he really likes. Decide to keep someone.
That's one of my favorite things when you showcase the young guys so you can sell them.
Let's do it.
Let's get
sell. Okay. Everyone, thank you for tuning in. Let's see. I am available next week, but I won't be the week after that, so we should probably record next week for sure.
I'll be here.
All right,
bud. Yeah.
We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for coming aboard.
Yeah. Feel better, Chewy.
Love you, Chewy.